Hello, my name is Sherry Gwen, and I am here today to talk to you about procrastination. You have just been assigned a major project in class. The due date is 1 month away, and you have a lot of work to do to complete it. Do you start right away and complete it all? Or do you start the project, then stop, and wait until right before the due date to finish? Or just wait until the due date to complete it all? If you are in the latter category, you are procrastinating. Merriam-Webster Dictionary tells us that procrastination is a transitive verb, meaning to put off intentionally and habitually. It comes from the Latin word procrastinare, which is pro, meaning forward motion, and crastinus, meaning belonging to tomorrow. When you are procrastinating, you are actually doing other things with the intent of completing the task at hand before the due date, opposed to just being lazy, which simply means being inactive. There are two categories of procrastination: passive and active. A passive procrastinator, which is generally the case, feels pressure, stress, is emotional, and cannot delay gratification. They want to do the good things now and have fun, putting off assignments until later rather than doing the assignments now and having fun later. An active procrastinator is self-aware of their actions, and they decide to procrastinate because they like the pressure of waiting until the last moment. In a survey of local high school and college students, 13.3% said they feel they procrastinate 0 to 25% of the time. 26.7% procrastinate 26 to 50% of the time. 30% said they procrastinate 51 to 75% of the time. And 30% said they procrastinate 76 to 100% of the time. And this is on schoolwork. Now, why do we procrastinate? Well, there are several reasons why a student or anyone in general may be a procrastinator. Sharam Heshmat, PhD, lists 5 reasons that a person may procrastinate. 1, they have an absence of structure. 2, the tasks are unpleasant. 3, timing. 4, they have anxiety. And 5, self-confidence. In the same survey of local high school and college students from before, 63.3% of those asked said that they procrastinate because they didn't feel like doing the assignments they were given. 20% said they have other things to do, and 3.3% said they don't understand the work. While lastly, 13.3% just said that they don't procrastinate. However, there may be a deeper reason that some people procrastinate. In his Why We Procrastinate speech on TED Talks Youth, Vic Nithi explains that the amygdala has a larger part of it. Now, first, neuroscientificallychallenged.com explains that the amygdala is an almond-shaped collection of nuclei in the brain. It is a component of the limbic system and best known for processing fear. It can trigger a fight or flight response and plays a big role in experiencing anxiety. Vic Nithi explains to us that when receiving a task, the amygdala may trigger a threatening response. It may cause us to unknowingly be afraid because we don't know where to start, or we have a displeasure of doing the work, or maybe we just fear failure. A research study presented by psychologist Timothy Pychyl, PhD, shows that the amygdala is mostly larger in procrastinators with poorer connections to the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, or the DACC. Now, the DACC takes information from the amygdala and decides our body's actions. Therefore, if the amygdala is triggering a threat and sends that information to the DACC, it will cause us to put off the task, causing the negative feelings. The last question of high school and college survey asked, do you feel stressed when you procrastinate? 46.7% answered yes, and 36.7% answered no, while 16.7% answered sometimes. Let's look at the effects of procrastination. In the article Procrastination and Stress, Exploring the Role of Self-Compassion, Fuchsia M. Soroy explains that procrastination very well does cause stress. The stress can lead to poor health, feelings of shame, and poor mental health because the procrastinator will have a negative self-evaluating thoughts. Soroy states that studies find that procrastinators usually feel unhappy about previous procrastination, and they self-blame themselves and have self-deprecating thoughts. Therefore, overall, passive procrastinators evaluate themselves in unkind, critical, and judgmental manners, which contribute to stress. On the other hand, in rethinking procrastination, positive thoughts of active procrastinating, behaviors on attitudes and performance, Angela Sin Chun Chu and Jin Nam Choi explore active procrastination, which they have found to be similar to non-procrastination. An active procrastinator likes to work under pressure. They like being challenged, and it causes them to be more motivated. In conclusion, an active procrastinator is persistent and able to finish, while a passive procrastinator will simply give up. Procrastination can cause problems outside of just stress. It can reflect on outcomes of the task. Since we want to do our best, let's look at some ways we can stop procrastinating. We're going to explore several options. The most basic is using metacognition. We must think about the way we think. Metacognition can help us to plan and monitor ourselves when it comes to performing tasks. This way, we know which parts are easiest for us, which may be harder, and we can use this to help us feel more at ease with the task at hand. We should also plan for distractions. Once we finally have a task on hand, it'll be helpful to know when X occurs, I will do Y, resulting in Z. For example, if a friend calls my phone, I will tell them that I am doing my speech, resulting in me completing my task. We should plan, for time management hack, we can use the Pomodoro technique. This was created by Francisco Cirillo in the 1980s and highly recommended today. During this technique, you would use a timer. You will begin to work for 25 minutes. Then you will take a 5-minute break, then return for 25 more minutes. After 4 times or 2 hours, you will give yourself a longer break of 15 to 20 minutes. And Cirillo explains that frequent breaks keep your mind fresh and focused. There are many ways to stop being a procrastinator if you really put your mind to it. Next time a task is at hand, try a new technique and get it done early. You will feel better and enjoy the fun things more. I will leave you with Timothy Pychyl's, PhD's, suggestions. See the slack and recognize when you are wasting time. Don't wait to be inspired because it probably won't happen. And finally, don't wait, period. Just start. Thank you.